to the Den, where we are a source of inspiration by using our knowledge, our voices, and experiences to empower women to move with intent. Today's discussion is about family and holiday.
Hi, I'm Michelle, la entrenadora.
Hi, I'm Dr. Uchenna, the DR.
Hi, I'm Shirell, the socially conscious social worker.
And I'm Dr. Evi Taylor, aka the People's Professor, and together we are the Muse.
So today, ladies, we're going to talk about, this is holiday season, right? So the winter holidays are among us. And so I was doing some research about people coming together. Like I'm going to have, people come together at my home for the Thanksgiving holiday, and I'm going to be around family around Christmas holiday. So the holidays are among us, right? And so oftentimes holidays go really well. People are really excited about seeing their families. And then sometimes they just go horrible, right? So there's a sociologist. She's at Purdue University. She's a professor there. Her name is Jill Suter. And she says there are 3 reasons why it goes horribly wrong. And we'll talk about each 3. So the first one is about talking about religion and politics. And the second one is that people aren't comfortable with their family member choices of partners. So they simply don't like them. And then the third thing is there's past stuff that's unresolved, like favoritism, or you didn't like me, or you didn't, eat my sandwich, or whatever the thing is that was from the past. So those are the 3 things. So let's start talking about the first thing is should people talk about politics and religion? So I just got to say, politics is a huge thing, especially right now. They're talking about COVID and the vaccines and how so many people's friendships and family relations are being conflicted about the booster shot. So talking about politics and religion, what are your thoughts?
Well, let me tell you, I just know this. I have a friend, and she and her family for years and years and years and years and years always got together with an aunt and an uncle for Thanksgiving, always. 4 years ago, that ended. And that's sad.
Why did it end? Did it end over a conflict at the dinner table?
4 years ago.
Trump select Trump.
One was one way, one was the other. And it did not, and they were both strong in those feelings. And they stopped doing that. And that was really sad to me. That's really sad. So, this wasn't even a conversation at the dinner table, at the dinner table for the holiday. It was just something that was within the family, but that actually broke that tradition.
Yeah.
That was sad to me.
That's
so that is I see that happening all the time. Don't bring that stuff up at dinner.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people that say no, they have a family rule, no discussing politics or religion. A lot of families are very similar and have similar beliefs. But I see this a lot with my students because maybe historically they've believed like their family. And then when you get college age, you kind of experiment and you have new thoughts and beliefs and things like that. And then you go back and the family kind of rejects these new feelings or beliefs that you have. So I know a lot of people that say absolutely not, no politics.
Yeah, not to say not to believe what you believe, but for the family dinner, don't bring it up.
So what happens when you have a member of your family that is a politician?
Tell them to keep their business at home.
Right, but it doesn't. It doesn't work that way because what ends up happening is people want to challenge when we get together.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rule thing. That's what I'm saying. I think it's the rule. I mean, people want to, but should you is the question. Really, should you? You can, but should you?
No, because I know how I believe. If I feel strongly about certain things, it might ruin the whole entire dinner because
it's going to ruin it.
Trying to get my
throw the turkey out
because I don't
I mean, for me, I don't know if I can't say what I want to say, but none of us need to be together. If I got to sit there and I guess it's because honestly, it's probably because you know what people think and feel now because of social media. Yeah, in the past, you don't bring it up and you have no idea.
But just leave that for another day, girl. Just leave it for another day.
Holidays. Can we talk about something nice, fun?
Can we talk about how good this macaroni tastes, or those are some nice shoes, or look at the game?
So be fake.
No.
Fake. Not fake.
Don't bring that up.
Food. Now, if you don't like the food, that's a problem. But you can talk about the game. You're in Texas, so the Cowboys are going to be playing. Talk about the Cowboys.
Who wants to talk about the daggone Cowboys?
Right.
I am from Houston.
I am a Giants fan. I am not a Cowboys fan.
I was talking about the two from Dallas.
I'm not from Dallas. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. I'm from New York.
Well, that are living and
okay.
See, I guess that's another thing. We can't even talk about sports because we're gonna be arguing.
I was gonna say we should probably add sports to that. I was gonna say that.
You're right.
So depending on your family, we're a sports family, so that
Yes,
can be kind of problematic.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
My family can't break bread with you because there are certain people we talk about in sports that I'm like, no. And your family might want to hurt somebody.
Yeah, we ain't talking about you because you're gonna be talking negative about LeBron. And then we're gonna have to
Cowboys. So
I'm
you're
not
right.
a Cowboy fan. Now that's my husband and my children.
No, but do people really get super heated? Super
Yeah, they do.
Yes.
I know a family, I know a sibling set that did not talk anymore about a basketball game.
Yeah.
But I think that it's underlining issues that are seething, and the basketball thing just brought them over the top. So I think that's the third thing.
Some people, like, honestly, with sports, if you're a true sports family, and I'm making this up, I'm really not making it up. Like I think it's blasphemous to be in Houston, Texas, and be a Cowboys fan. If you're from Houston, Cowboys, that's not America's team. There's no underlying anything. You got issues to me.
And you know what my husband will say, Uchenna?
What?
Ask Siri. Ask Alexa. Who's?
Oh Lord. Siri been brainwashed.
I'm gonna say Dallas Cowboys.
Siri is brainwashed.
And I know your husband.
I will tell you about sports. Does that really make a difference? Yes, because the Cowboys play every Thanksgiving. So regardless, I'm not. Well, I don't know. My family's gonna be mad. My children and husband are gonna be mad. They are Cowboys fans, right? And so every Thanksgiving we have to watch the Cowboys. But I have to cheer for the Cowboys because if the Cowboys lose, that ruins everybody's Thanksgiving.
Girl, let me tell you, don't ever invite me to your dinner because I am such a Stephen A. Smith. When he goes, what about them Cowboys? And I'll be like, get him.
And then it's going to be going down. So yes.
That's the only thing positive about Stephen A. Smith.
That's the one thing that when he go, what about them Cowboys? And I am hysterical. Okay, wait. So let's move to the next thing. Okay. The next thing is, another issue is that there's usually issues with people's choice of partner. Do you think that that's the issue?
Oh, yeah.
I can see that. I definitely see that.
All right, so walk the line really closely.
I know. I don't even know what to say.
I know, right? Because it kind of is, it can be explosive. So walk it carefully. Walk it carefully. So
that's a hard one because if you want one particular person there, you have to invite their mate. That's a hard one.
Yep.
And you don't even, oh God,
let's say that they stumbling drunk, trip over your thing, break up your whole tape, and you look like, I want this person here, but their partner gets over the edge. And yeah, I've had that. I have a really great girlfriend that I love. And her partner was something you had to swallow, like castor oil, right? So you just had to hurry, but okay, let's just deal with him. And it was difficult. It was difficult.
You're not invited. Yeah. I have uninvited partners.
So
but if you love the one person, you love the one person.
No, if you're abusive, you don't come in my house.
Period. Well, let me tell you this. It's not a problem, but he used to walk really different when it was me because he know how I get down. Like, I'm like, I don't give a freak who you in my house. You gonna follow what I'm saying to you, right? So he would be a little disruptive, but not as crazy as I've seen him be because he already know like who I am, right? And just how I come down. So, but I would invite them with a strong eye, and then I tell my boys, like my family, like, okay, so if this one act crazy, we about to escort him out on the curb, like immediately.
You're not gonna be in my house.
So
you're not gonna be in my house.
I think sometimes too with the partner, how they treat, like if somebody has kids, and so they treat the kids poorly, then that's problematic because people don't like the way that that particular person treats like the grandkids or the niece and nephew or whatever. And so then that I've seen that play out where that's the big issue.
Okay,
but
so
you know what
hold
else-
on to
you know
that
what
one because
else
that's
is an
number
issue?
3. That's number
Hold
3.
on, really
Stick to
quickly.
the
But you know,
partner.
but you know what else is an issue actually with the partner when, like, say you get a divorce and or the partner's been around for years and years and years and y'all break up and you bring someone new.
That new person don't have a chance.
Not a chance.
Is everybody looking at him like,
Right.
Comparing, you know,
Right.
to the ex. Yeah.
And that I think that's really difficult.
That's
I mean, I
hard.
think that's hard because,
Yeah.
or even better, or even worse, when the relationship ended and there wasn't an issue and children are involved and you've been together for 30 or 40, I'm not making this up, right? And so that ex can come, the family invites the ex over, the ex comes over, and then the family member with their newbie comes over too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because think about it, like and I'm using my family for example. Not this is hypothetical, but Eddie and I have been together for years and years and years and years and years. He's in my family. If we were ever not to be together, my family would still invite him to Thanksgiving and Christmas. I mean,
Right.
we would. I would,
Right.
because and so imagine bringing someone new.
But I
mean,
think that people are changing with that, right? That I think that people are being a lot more accepted because, like, when I go down for Christmas, my stepmother, my father, and my mother were in my mother's house, and it's just, and the other family members like, how do y'all do that? Be like, what? Like, that's all right. That's okay. So people got to understand that that's different. But getting back to partners, that people may not like their choice of partners and that being really sticky. Do you think that they should just leave their partner, or you shouldn't invite them?
Or you shouldn't go.
Yeah, it's probably best that they just not come a lot of the time, that they do something else.
But sometimes they don't know because the rest of the family, now I have seen this, the rest of the family, everybody talking about this particular person, but the person that's dating that person doesn't even know. So the whole family has an issue with this person or whatever. The whole family's talking about this person, but that person doesn't know. And the person's partner doesn't know. So, you know, I've seen situations where people don't want to invite certain people, but the people don't know.
Well, if they don't know, that's their fault. I mean, you.
No,
Nobody told them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, yeah. So they show up, and then you're just going to have to deal with it. You have to buy.
Yeah, you have to deal with
Uchenna,
it.
I don't believe that you don't know. I'm getting like Uchenna. I don't believe that you don't know.
But you know what? That goes.
Maybe you don't want to know.
That goes to this, and this is an aside. You can't go telling your family everything that's going on in your house. When you resolve it,
and y'all lovey-dovey.
Yeah, your friends and your family are gonna feel some kind of way.
That's exactly right, because you remember you love this person, right? And so you feel like, you know, I can talk about my husband, but nobody else better talk about my husband, right? But then you have to be mindful, because if I were to go to my family and I were to say all this negative stuff about my husband, or let's say we weren't married, because once you're, you know, like, when we were dating, right? And if I were to say like all this negative stuff, that would form their opinion. They don't know him like me. So if I'm saying all this negative stuff because I'm mad, and then all of a sudden, you know, I'm happy, we make up and everything, and then I want him around the family, that's my family. So they're going to be siding with me, and they're going to feel some type of way about him.
Right.
So Uchenna, I think you bring up a good point that we need to be careful about the things that we say, because then when we get upset when people don't like our partner, well, if we're blasting them and saying all this negative stuff, they're feeling like they have our back, and they're, you know, they're looking out for us and our best interests, right? And we have just completely painted a negative picture of the person that we're dating.
And that's all they can rock with. So let me throw another little dynamic in this about partners. So as life expectancies, you know, expanding, and, you know, people are moving around, older people are finding new dates and new partners, right? So they may not be maybe their partner passed away, or they're divorced, and so sometimes, so it's not just that, it may be that we're looking like, what y'all doing? Right? What you mean y'all dating? And so sometimes it's that. Right. So I'm not saying I do. because I think you can get your freak on however age you are. But I'm just saying there's a lot of people. Yeah, go and get it on. I just think that a lot of people.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of information. Like, just keep it to yourself.
Right.
Well, the old people got to keep it to themselves.
Yes.
Why?
Old people keep it to themselves.
Old people, they're excited. So my grandma has a friend, and she kept outliving her husband. So I think she was married like 5 times. So even like when she was,
what did they die from, though? What did they die from? That's my question.
She was getting that money, huh? No, but I mean, some of them like earlier on, I think might have just been divorces.
Okay.
I remember like she was married again and again, and like she was older. And so older people, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they find ways to meet people. They don't want to be alone. So
no, that's fine, but I just don't talk about the other stuff. Y'all are just holding hands, going to the park.
But Michelle, we're getting older. What do you think? Like, I think that the baby boomers were the first ones to kind of make, aging sexy, right? I'm fighting this. I'm not going down like.
No, you can be sexy, but I don't want to see that other stuff.
Don't bring that to Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
Hold up.
They can't show.
I'm having a problem here because I'm trying to be like, we always talk about seeing other people's perspectives or not being biased. Now we're kind of discriminating on age. So if you're young, you come in with your, with your partner and everything, but then the older people can't have that same.
They can't show their affection and.
I don't like to see anybody's affection. I don't like to see young people's affection. I don't like all that slobbering in the corner and stuff. I don't like that either.
But I don't want to see. Okay, so you don't want to see signs of affection. Okay.
Hey, Shirell, let me say something though. But sometimes it's not just the partner if they have kids. So you might not like somebody's bad kids. So maybe that you're dating somebody and they have these bad kids, and you might not want the bad kids at your house because like your family raises kids a certain way, and then you date somebody and then they have these kids that are coming into your family and they're not behaved, or they tear up your house, or I mean, I don't like kids that like talk back a lot, you know what I mean? So if you have kids that are in and they're just like talking back or disrespectful, or you might have kids like, my grandma doesn't like kids that run around the house. And then, if you have kids that run all, Uchenna don't like that either.
I don't like it either.
Running all around the house, tearing up your stuff. And then that person's
that won't happen.
Telling them
that won't happen. Cause I'm definitely gonna be like, you better sit down. I'm gonna be everybody's mama in my house.
Are unruly. They might look at you and say,
I wouldn't give a fuck, but they already see my energy coming.
That's the problem, because you shouldn't have to say it. The parent should be disciplining their children.
And if they don't, I don't have a problem helping them today in my house. I will parent for you. Sit down. Yes, I will. Okay. Next thing, the third thing is, now that was kind of like what Evie was saying earlier about like family dynamics. So the way you treat, these grandchildren may be closer to the grandparents or favoritism. And so it goes down the line. Like, what about that stuff? Does that show up again at family dinners?
Oh, yeah.
How do
there has been arguments in my family over who gets to have Thanksgiving dinner at their house or Christmas at their house. Why is it always this person, or why do we always have to go here or there or whatever? So even that dynamic of, starting the holidays off with an argument over where's it going to be host, who gets to host.
Yeah, who has the best house to host? That whole, why does she always get to do this? Or why does he always get to do this? Mm-hmm. And that's rooted in childhood
unresolved issues.
Yes. So, so think about, so my grandmother always hosted everything at her house. As she got older, then even she felt some kind of way about it because everything was always at her house. And now that it's not at her house, there's issues with other people because why does it have to be here? Why does it have to be, you know what I mean? And everybody that has kids, they might, it might be more advantageous to have it at this house versus that house. And so, yeah, I think that happens a lot in families.
Yeah.
Or sometimes, it's different when a sibling isn't even there because they didn't even get invited, because you knew if they came, it was going to be drama.
Yeah. You know what? It's sad to me when I see like siblings and parental relationship, like those first generational conflicts. It's hurtful to me because I am I love family. I get so excited about my family. I get really like I've always been that way. Like even when I was younger and people get on my nerve, be like, I don't care, I don't need you. I got my family. Like that was that's how I always felt, right? And I say like not my first family, but like my extended family is huge and we're very, very close. But it's really sad to me when I see that siblings don't get along or there's a issue with the parental relationship. That
It
hurts my
happens a
heart.
lot. I mean, it and there are nuances. I mean, there are family members that haven't spoken to each other for years, right? I mean, it's
Okay.
I honestly think it's probably more common
Right.
than we. I mean, I'll admit in my family, like right now, there's one of us that we really don't associate with because they're things, right?
Right.
And
There's
right,
issues.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying to have peace, especially at family gatherings, because some of us, everybody has at least one family member where either they have some issues, whether it's drugs, like you said, alcohol, whatever it is. If they come, there's going to be. So the question is, do you want to make this a happy experience, or do you want there to be tension? And that's, I mean, I hate to say, and I don't have an answer, but if we're being honest, all of us, there's somebody. I mean, it just, and then when you're married or not even married, when you have a significant other, it's on both sides, right?
Then the arguments, whose house you're going to go to. And
Yeah,
but even if there's not tension on that day, Uchenna, and you don't invite somebody,
it
you're
will
going to hear about it later.
Yep.
So later it's going to be a big blow up because
Yep.
if the parents didn't invite this person, then what kind of parent are they?
Right.
And Shirell, I know you were talking about siblings and stuff, but what I see a lot, and probably you with even your clients, is a lot of sibling rivalry. You know, that is real. Like in families, for whatever reason, siblings are competing with each other. And then they're upset that this is the parent's favorite, or this parent or grandparent or whoever favors this child over that. And you can be 50 years old, still talking about you're the favorite. You know, you always got this, or, you know, anger over to the parent for, you know, feeling like they favored one.
I mean, it's funny because I always say, when you said, I always say, I was my grandmama's favorite. And then my cousin, no, I was. No, I was. I mean, it's playful, but I'm serious.
Not really.
But there's something up under there. Yeah.
You could say it's playful, but
some people it's a real issue.
Out you weren't the favorite.
Right.
Yeah. So here we're going to do the DEN directives a little bit differently, because we could just vote and that can be the DEN directive. So the first one is, raise your hand. Should you talk about religion and politics at the dinner table? If you think you should not, raise your hand. Okay.
Uchenna likes arguments at the table.
She does. She want to make it spicy at her table. Okay. So Uchenna says no, because that's being fake, right? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
I'm saying I want to be able to talk about whatever I want to be able to talk about.
When the topic comes up, you can address it, and you're just going to say, we're going to table this conversation for after dinner. That doesn't mean you can never talk about it.
Another day. Table it for another day.
Okay. There you go.
All right. All right. The second thing is, should people sort of control their issues about people's partners when it's time for family time?
I don't think you could do that.
Gotta raise your hand.
So if you think that people should try to control themselves about people's partners about the dinner at holiday time, raise your hand if they should.
They should, but that's hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
now whether we do it or not, because that just comes down to the thing of just respect. You might not like that person.
Hold on, ask that question again, Shirell.
Okay. Should you control your visceral responses to a partner that you don't like or that you don't agree with, if it's a family member, for the sake of holiday time? Should you?
That's being fake again. That's being fake again.
Now that is being fake. That is being fake. But I would try to do it just to get through the dinner.
I will.
But tomorrow, it's the same thing.
I'm gonna say, why did you bring them? I'm gonna say, why did you bring?
No, but listen. Sometimes you may not be able to control, because sometimes people just pop up. Like if it's family, you feel like you have an open door policy. So let's say that you have a sibling.
I don't have an open door policy. Go ahead.
I don't. And it's happened to me. So I can't agree with that.
So me and Evie, I got an open door policy. Like
and
people
I'm
show
gonna
up,
say,
I'm
like,
gonna let them
somebody
in.
brings somebody, I'm not gonna be rude. Like maybe I don't like that person, but if my sibling chooses that person, now it's different. Like you said, some things, if they're doing something illegal or like they're
or
beating,
hurting them,
my sister or something like that, then yeah, that's a little bit different. But if I just don't like them or I don't like their kids or this, that, or whatever, I can be respectful. And then like Shirell said, like with the kids, I can parent the kids and make the kids mind or whatever with them. But why am I going to ruin everybody's evening or dinner because
they
I don't like this
everybody's
particular
evening
person?
by bringing them. They weren't thinking about them.
They might not even, well, that's their loved one. That's their relationship.
Right. Long as they're not hurting them or whatever, I don't ever really care.
See, the harder thing with the mate that you don't like is saying, I'm just not going to invite them. That's harder than inviting them and it kind of ignoring them. Because what I would really want to do is not invite you at all, but it's harder to do that.
Yeah, I agree, because then that can create problems with your spouse. But I don't want to. I don't know, like around the family, I think family should come, and I'm not going to uninvite one of my family members because I don't like a choice that they made or somebody that they brought. For a couple hours, I can deal with them.
I don't invite them. I just say they can't bring that person.
Yeah, but you can't. So then you're making them choose on the holiday between you as a sibling and their partner or a person they love, or the father or mother of their child.
Uchenna saying you don't need to be with them.
No.
Drop them.
That's being fake again, Uchenna saying.
We'll just say I'm mean and we'll keep moving on.
Okay.
You don't have to be mean. That's just how you feel.
No, it's not being mean. It's how
we
you
didn't raise our hands. So who says you invite? You just kind of deal with it. Who said you can just be cordial? Be cordial.
Michelle, are you really raising your hand?
I'm thinking of a specific thing right now. I gotta invite them.
Michelle, I'm trying to push her over there, Uchenna.
Look, the second one, you on your own, Uchenna.
I know, no, I feel you, Uchenna. I feel you, but
the question was, should you? So yes, we might feel like we don't want that person, but we know what we should do.
But this is another thing in this invite.
Why should you do it?
Well, hold up. They have a limited window. It's time to go. You're not staying till midnight.
Okay, so this is the directive, so let's make it short and sweet. So it looks like the three of us would try to, because you should. Okay. The third thing is, I tell you, family and holidays, like, the third thing is, I just got to say, Uchenna, your hair is just looking awfully lovely.
Thank you. I just did it done yesterday.
So just very, very cute. All right. The third thing is, should we leave behind past family dynamics like favoritism, or, should we not talk about that either? Because they're saying those are the three things in her research. She's a sociologist from Purdue. Should we? Raise your hand.
Y'all don't raise your hand. Let Uchenna be out.
I'm raising my hand.
Hey, what's the question?
The question is, should you not talk about like favoritism and this and that, all those past family dynamics that make your family tight? So Uchenna's like, yay. Okay, so we got a consensus today on that one.
I will say this.
She got a caveat.
Okay, while Uchenna's over there dancing, your dance about to stop, because we should do that. But if those feelings are really there, it's probably not going to happen, which is why it's an issue, because it's so hard for us not to bring that up. Because as soon as we see grandma talking to the other cousin, we're jealous, and then it's going to come up. As soon as somebody says that mac and cheese is better than yours, it's going to surface.
Yeah.
So we know we should leave all the past stuff behind, but whether or not we're really capable of doing
it is a whole other thing.
No, I mean, like if you're okay, so in this instance, the reason why I say is because if you're upset about something that happened when you were 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you haven't gotten over it yet. Now, granted, if you're in your 20s, okay, we're 50 something, almost 50, right? 50s and almost 50s. Then what happened 30, 40 years ago, we should have worked through that, is what I'm saying. That's how I think.
Right. You should, but people don't. Because I have a cousin, we got into something when we were 12. And it's so crazy. She still does not talk to me. because
When you were
we had
12?
a fight. When we were 12, she was a little older. I was 12. I beat her up, and then she doesn't talk to me.
You put that whooping on.
So she doesn't talk to me. So I'm just saying. But we're grown, and I'm like, and I try to extend myself. But all right. So in summary, think of those three things that they said that crashes dinners, holiday gatherings. So the three things are talking about religion and politics and probably sports. We should throw that in there. And then having disagreements with people's partners and how they feel about them. And then the third thing is past family dynamics. So if we can think about those things as we approach the holiday season and think of ways so it doesn't blindside you, right? So we're not necessarily, so sometimes it's going to come up, but if you can at least think about those three things, you may have a more thankful, prosperous holiday season when you bring your family and friends together. Oh God, here we go. What happened, Uchenna?
So I'm just saying that means that I need to work on some things.
Yes. Yes. So that's the whole idea of this presentation this conversation is to think about these three things because they blindside you. But if you're already thinking about it going into the holiday season, you have better responses, better reactions to things that happen. So it's not blindsiding you. That's the idea. So we're done. Look, y'all got more to say. Let's go.
Well, I was just going to say to wrap up, so think about positive things. What are some fun topics? So if you know that your family is argumentative or maybe not, or just animated, like to talk, whatever, controversial, like to debate, if that's your family and then things escalate, what are some topics that we won't debate about? What are some fun things that we can talk about to kind of guide the conversation to stay away from the controversial issues that's going to get everybody heated?
Or positive activities. Like I went the other day and they had these little things like a bowling penguin thing, like little cheap little gifts that people can play and just get distracted and laugh.
Can't play because we're going to argue over who wins and who loses.
Lord. All right, we are rolling this out.
Okay. Well, let me just end with saying just think before you speak. Think about what you're going to say before it comes out your mouth and then just cut it off and save it for another day. You can tell them tomorrow, though. Yes. Tell them tomorrow. So anyway, thanks, guys, and make sure you join us
in the den
where places don't make you feel at home.
People do.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye. Happy
holidays.